Yeah. Yeah, no, yeah, this is ours. So,
First floor.
All right, so we're essentially had mentioned that listening to Father Mike while heading to Father Mike. Really quickly, we're on Interstate 35, and we would be all the way in. This goes all the way to Duluth, where Father Mike is at, but we don't have to go that far because he came to us in Cedar Park. So we're heading over to Cedar Park, Texas, right now.
Or how I found these quotes because the internet, being very inspired and intimidated. I brought this book home and I was like, okay, this is what it is to be a disciple of Jesus in the world. And so it was really inspired. Okay, that's what I need. I remember one of the things.
This should be interesting. Here we go. Speed limit is 85 miles per hour. It's one of the fastest toll roads in America. One of the fastest toll roads in America.
Yup, that's right. You see that? The speed limit is 85 miles per hour, or 137 kilometers per hour, which is the highest posted speed limit in the Americas. And this speed limit is only surpassed by 2 other places in the world. So yeah, we're going ridiculously fast.
Well, this is a Tesla facility over here. You can see a Tesla flag, and those flags are huge. Tesla Road. Just saw it, Tesla Road. So, this is where they make the Teslas. So we're in the hotel room, so watch this. Belle. She just jumped from one bed to another, as you saw right there. So she is coming with us. We're over here. So this should be interesting. Well, you look at that, folks. I've never seen a line this long just to get into an H-E-B.
if I can start. Hello. Sorry, I did it wrong. Howdy. That's incredible. You guys, it's incredible. I'm so glad I'm here. I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad we're here tonight. Okay, so here's the thing. As we get started, train of thought. As we get started, I don't know if you remember like 5 years ago when we couldn't do something like this. And in those moments, in that kind of a thing, it's we can still grow, like we can still move forward, we can still kind of, but it's not human to not be able to be together. So that's one of the reasons we're here tonight, is just to be able to be together. Amen? Amen. So before we go any further, I imagine you might have come with someone, or maybe a couple different someones. You also might have come by yourself. And so here's what happens, here's what we do on campus. I work at the University of Minnesota, Duluth, and so we have, yeah, this is ours. So, what we go, Skull Bikes, as, I appreciate this. But I lost my train of thought again. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, as our students come to Mass, I don't know if you know this, sometimes people, if they go to Mass by themselves, this is how they plan on going to Mass. They come to Mass by themselves, they sit down and pray by themselves, they get up and leave by themselves, and we're like, no. What we want is we want you to know each other. That's why we came here tonight. So, before Mass, we always do this. We ask 3 questions. Every student has the opportunity to turn to someone sitting in their general vicinity, and answer the following 3 questions. I'm gonna ask you to do the same thing. Tonight, it's this. Number 1, what's your name? Number 2, where are you at in life? So basically introduce yourself like a human. Number 3, it's kind of a 2-parter. Who is someone that you love? Think of someone you love. And if you had one thing to say.
All right, so we're back at the hotel with Belle. I did an elevator video earlier that should be coming out. So yeah, Belle was there. She did really well. My mother didn't think that this would work at all, but it did somehow. It's a miracle from God. She's currently sniffing. Is there really a traffic jam 100 feet in the air? Oh my goodness, we're even almost as tall as that hotel over there. That's crazy. That's how high up we are. It's like, hold on, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 floors. Are you serious? How does Texas design bridges like this? Chat, look how long this line is. It's insane. This is like, oh my. It goes all the way back there, doesn't it? All right, so we're here at Buc-ee's. What I find insane is that there's an H-E-B right across the street from a Buc-ee's. What were they thinking? That's how you know the competition is very Texas. All right, we're going into the Buc-ee's with Belle. Let's see what they have in this here. Let's see what they have here. Okay, what does the sign say? Anyone's...
Hasn't been fixed yet.
They already have the Mariah Carey outfit already. World's famous jerky. If I were to say chicken jerky, you would know exactly what I mean. All right, folks, so the Buc-ee's thing had to be done since, well, we live in Texas. There is one between San Antonio and Austin at New Braunfels, or as the TTS would say, New Braunfels. All right. So, this was certainly an interesting trip. So, I'm gonna get going.
All right, folks, as you can see, I'm wearing the Buc-ee's shirt. So, I'm back home, and so I will be heading over to St. Patrick's Church next to see Christopher West. So, for the, what was it called again? Made for More. It's something involving theology of the body, which St. John Paul II has preached. So I'll be heading over, and I'll see you guys at St. Patrick Church.
Hello,
Hello. What is your name?
I'm Steve.
Hi, Steve. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
And to whom are we speaking right now?
Audience of channel that I don't know what I post on there. It's called Gateway Star.
Okay. And what are you trying to do with Gateway Star?
I just post whatever I feel like at this
All right.
point.
Well, we're just on posting whatever we feel like. Do you know what's happening tonight here? At this
Yeah, we're
fair?
doing something about the theology of the body.
That's right. Do you know what the theology of the body is?
Something that, like, it's about, well, sex.
Well, sort of. Yes. But much more than that, it's about how your body tells a divine story. It's about how we can learn how to read God's sign language. God's put a message right in our bodies that reveals his eternal plan for the universe.
Thank you.
Yeah, your body tells this story.
You know what?
And your body tells this story. Come and become one who sees. We gotta let the Lord open our eyes so we can see the glory of God revealed through our bodies. What?
I went up to Cedar Park
Yeah,
just to see Father Mike.
yeah.
So,
Father Mike Schmitz, you know what? He's an old student of mine.
Really?
Yep.
I went up there to Cedar Park, and then I had to come back down here to see you.
Well, thanks for coming. I'm honored that
Unfortunately, I
you
didn't get to meet Father Mike, but I did.
came. Well, I'm happy you and I got to meet.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm happy to be talking to whoever's watching this video right now.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you. All right, folks, so we're here on the grounds of St. Patrick Catholic Church. It's a very beautiful church. You may remember this from the Eucharistic procession vlog that I did. The very first church that it's actually, as a matter of fact, we started here. So we had that introduction from Christopher West. So yeah, we're just waiting outside. Want to say hi for the vlog, Christian?
How's it going?
Good?
Nice.
Yeah.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
Are you gonna be in there for mass?
Wait, they're gonna do mass.
Oh really? They're not?
I'm not sure, actually.
It's usually at 6.
Yeah. All right, so we have like bricks that have names on them: Beba, Tessa, Chito, Pin, Teto. I'm pretty sure some of you Vocaloid fans might be familiar with that one. No relations. That's all I'm gonna. That's as far as I'm gonna say.
All right, folks, I did not know how to respond to that, but I do now. Ladies and gentlemen, Teto is Catholic. Anyways, on with the video.
Hi there. So we're here with Father Anthony Mendoza. You might remember him from a lot of videos. This is his home.
Ah, okay.
This is his home.
Yes.
So what are we going to be doing today, Father?
Made for More events. Theology of the Body from St. Pope John Paul II.
Thank you, Father.
Thank you. I'm glad you're here.
All right, folks, so I have mixed opinions about them using the actual church itself rather than the parish hall. Probably because it could hold more people. The church itself could hold more people than the parish hall. That's one reason. But if they were to use it, I would like omit the lighting personally. I wouldn't want to desecrate the church. That's just my opinion. I don't know what y'all think. I'm pretty sure the trads may be totally against this, but I am showing some mixed opinions on this.
All right, so here's a close-up of St. John Paul II, and here is his relic.
Now, normally when I speak in church, I can see you all, but today I can't see you, so I have to have faith that you're there today. So, we're very blessed today. We know that in the early centuries of Christianity, a young man named Augustine, who had a very Catholic mother, a saint for a mother, who taught him his Catholic faith, but he chose instead to follow a different religion. A religion that said it did not matter what you do with your body. He liked that religion because it let him sin with his body, thinking it would not affect his soul. But as you probably know, Augustine had a great conversion. He learned it matters very much what we do with our body. And very sadly that today, in our modern times, there are many people who think, again, that it doesn't matter what we do with our bodies. This has led to tremendous harm to many people throughout the world because of sins used in our bodies. So we thank God for Pope St. John Paul II, known as Pope John the Great, we have here today with us a relic, first-class relic of Pope St. John Paul II, a little drop of his blood and his reliquary here, to be with us here today. In a sense, he's with us in the theology of the body. We thank God for Christopher West, who God has sent to help us understand this beautiful theology. So let us just say a little prayer to begin our meeting tonight.
Welcome, everyone.
Thank you so much for being here. I wish I spoke the beautiful Spanish language. I do not. It is a beautiful language, and I'm very grateful to our translator over here who is helping us out, and grateful for the technology that allows us to have a simultaneous translation tonight. Before we get officially underway, I just wanted to say a few words that will set the stage for us about our time together. There will be an intermission at about 8:30 or so. We'll come back from that brief intermission, and we aim to get you out of here tonight by about 9:35. So that's the overall schedule of the evening. I just want to say thank you for coming out. We have busy lives, each and every one of us. We could have done many different things tonight, but you chose to come here, and I am so grateful. I've been traveling the world since the mid-1990s, sharing the beautiful, glorious, life-changing teaching of John Paul II. And what he taught me to do was to be honest about the depth of the desire that I feel in my heart for happiness, for joy, for fulfillment. Every single one of us, we experience a yearning deep in our hearts for something. If we're honest, we will recognize that we are made for more than what the culture is holding out to us. So much more. Tonight, through the gift of the spoken word, through the gift of music, through the gift of art and images that we'll have on the screen, we want to give you a vision of the more for which you are made. Made for more, and then the subtitle of our event is Visions of the Promised Land. To get in touch with that cry of our hearts isn't so easy, but music can help. Listen to this from Pope Benedict XVI. Music uncovers the buried way to the heart. Right? We have a lot of things that just kind of get buried in our lives. But music has a way of uncovering the buried way to the heart, to the core of our being. And wherever this happens, Pope Benedict says, music becomes a road that leads to Jesus. Beautiful. That's the goal here tonight. And Mike Mangione, this is an image of Mike. You know, he's a storyteller. He's a poet. He's kind of like a Catholic Bob Dylan. Death's dragon stung. It's a poetic way of saying, life ain't easy. There's a lot of pain in this existence. But then he says, but I've seen the stars, and my wonder was won. Can you think of a time in your life where you encountered something so beautiful that it pierced through pain you were experiencing, a difficult time you were going through, and the beauty just lit you up. Maybe it brought a tear to your eye. Maybe it put a lump in your throat. These are sacred moments. Encountering beauty in this world and letting it in. This is sacred. This is holy. And it's very important for us. One of my favorite examples of someone who had the courage to let the beauty in and just like pierce his heart. It was one of the original viral videos on YouTube, so this is like 2007 or something. It was called The Double Rainbow Guy. Raise your hand if you know the video I'm talking about, The Double Rainbow Guy. Anybody?
Oh my God. Oh. Double rainbow.
Okay, there's a couple out there. Okay, a couple know what I'm talking about. You will vouch for me that I'm not exaggerating. Comes out his house, sees the double rainbow, and have you ever noticed a typical expression is, oh my God, when you encounter something beautiful. Now, let's recognize this is not taking the Lord's name in vain. That is the proper response when we encounter beauty. Oh my God. Beauty is meant to bring us to the Lord. So he says, oh my God, it's a double rainbow all the way across the sky. Oh, it's so bright and vivid. Oh, double rainbow all the way across the sky. Am I exaggerating? No, he moans, he groans, he starts to cry. And when he starts to cry, it starts to rain. As if God were crying with him. At one point, he's so overwhelmed by the beauty, he says, what does it mean? This is what happens when we let the beauty in. It stirs these deep questions about the meaning of things. There's a word that the Catechism uses to describe these encounters with beauty that lead us to God. It's called a theophany. Look at the splendor of this snowflake. It is one in trillions upon trillions of snowflakes that God creates in every snowfall. And each one is unique. Each one is a window into the heart of God. Theophany happens when we experience a revelation of divine beauty through created beauty. But there's something more beautiful than a snowflake. There's something more wonderful than a double rainbow. There's something more glorious than a starlit night.
It's God.
Well, God, yes, but I'm talking about creation. What in God's creation reveals God's beauty and splendor more than anything else? We do. We do. Male and female, he created them. And he blessed them. And he said, be fertile, multiply. He made us in the image of God as male and female. And don't forget this very important line. The man and his wife were both naked and they felt no shame. John Paul II says that line, nakedness without shame, is the key to understanding God's original plan for our humanity. Why were they naked without shame? Because they saw their nakedness, they saw their bodies as a theophany, as a revelation of the beauty of God himself. When God wanted to show us his beauty, what did he do? He took on a body. A male body born of a female body. It's always male and female together that reveals the glory of God. That is the world we live in, a world of plastic human beings. That is a world that looks but does not see. And we are deeply wounded here as a result. If you would humor me, I need a thick-skinned male volunteer who doesn't mind being put on the spot, and it would be good if you understand English. Hold up here, brother. What's your name? What's your name? Victor. Victor. You sure you got thick skin, Victor? Yes, I do. All right, come on up here, Victor. Don't say I didn't warn you. Victor, can you say hi to Jesus? All right, Victor, I want you to stand right here. And I want all of us in here to direct our eyes toward Victor's body. It's interesting the hush that came over us right there. I don't know if I'm supposed to be looking at his body. Well, true enough, you're not supposed to be looking at his body. What are you supposed to be doing? Seeing! Because if we saw Victor's body rightly, what's going to happen? We honor Victor's interior mystery through his body. We never try to dismiss his body to get to the inner mystery. That would be a rupture of the body and the soul. And by the way, there's a word for the separation of body and soul. Perhaps you've heard of it. It's called death. Right? When we're just looking at somebody and separating the body and the soul in a very real way, we're killing them. Victor, I don't want to kill you. I want to see you. I want to see your soul through your body. And it's the eyes in a very particular way that help us to see this mystery. So look in somebody's eyes, you get a window into the soul. But guess what? In the beginning, before sin blinded us, it was as if the whole body could do what our eyes still do. The whole body revealed the mystery of the person. That's why they were naked and felt no shame. Because they were filled with awe at the beauty and mystery revealed through their bodies. And when you're filled with that wonder and awe, you're filled with reverence for the person. You know the custom in the East, when you meet someone, you bow. Yes. There's something so right about that. Because Victor here reveals a beam of God's glory in this world that nobody else reveals. Nobody. Victor here is a theophany. He's a revelation of the mystery of God. And that reminds me of one of my favorite lines from one of my favorite musicals. To love another person is to see the face of God. Is this what we're thinking when we encounter another person? Victor, there's no other you, brother. You are the only you there ever was. Can you shake your hand? Victor, you are beautiful. You reveal a beam of God's glory that nobody else does. And that means it's an absolute honor to meet you. Can I give you a hug, Victor? Yes, you can. That's a beautiful man right there. That's a beautiful man. But we'll never see see it if we're just looking. Each and every one of us, we are the blind man in the gospel, and we have to cry out, Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me. I want to
See.
I want to see. Victor, thank you for giving me the privilege of catching a glimpse of your real person. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. All right, let's keep going here. If we're just looking, it's that human beings are indispensable, irreplaceable, and unrepeatable. Let me unpack what I mean here. This is language from the teaching of John Paul II. Whoa, whoa, oh, 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 whoa, I'm lying in my bed. I'm lying in my bed. I'm 8 years. The dots. I was 24 years old, and I had gotten myself in a lot of trouble chasing after a happiness in the wrong direction, chasing after the wrong things. And this guy told me, Christopher, that hunger you've always felt in your heart, it's good. It was the first time I ever heard that, because the impression I had growing up in Catholic schools in the 70s and 80s was that that yearning I felt was bad. When it came to that hunger, when it came to that thirst, I was raised on what you might call the starvation diet gospel. The basic message was your desires are bad, they're only going to get you in trouble, you need to repress all that, but follow all these rules and you'll be a good upstanding Christian citizen. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm hungry. And starvation is not going to work for me. This is why I became a quick convert in my teenage years to what I've come to call the fast food gospel, which is the secular culture's promise of immediate gratification for that hunger. And don't lie to me, those chicken nuggets taste really good going down, especially if you're hungry like I was. I ate a lot of chicken nuggets and I ate a lot of Big Macs. And they did taste good going down, but keep going with that metaphor. And where are you going to end up if fast food is all you're eating?
Dead.
You're going to become very sick. And that's a picture of me in my college years. 1988, I'm a freshman in college, and I'm in a lot of pain. And I fell on my knees in a college dorm, and I said, God in heaven, if you exist, you better show me why you gave me all these desires, because they're getting me and everybody I know into a hell of a lot of trouble. What is your plan? What am I supposed to do with all this yearning and hunger? Jesus said, seek, and you'll find. I sought, and what I found was this guy. And his teaching of theology of the body. And he was the first guy to tell me that Christianity is not a starvation diet. Christianity is an invitation to a wedding feast. And we're meant to sacrifice the nuggets. We're meant to give up the Big Macs, not so we can go and starve. We're meant to give up the fast food so we can enter the banquet. The word, it's a holy word. Don't confuse it with another Greek word, porneia. Porneia is a terrible distortion of eros. But God created eros. Listen to this. God created eros to be like the fuel of a rocket that has the power to launch us to the stars. Or, in the words of the prophet Buzz Lightyear, to infinity
Beyond.
problem. We're all meant to be that guy at the top who's launching to the stars. But here's the problem. There's an enemy who does not want us to reach the stars. And his goal, right from the beginning, is to invert those rocket engines. And what happens if you set a rocket off with inverted engines? You crash and you burn. And the good news that I learned from John Paul II, that I've been sharing around the world for over 30 years, is precisely this. Christ came into the world not to condemn those with inverted rocket engines, but to redirect our rocket engines to the stars. Hallelujah! Is this the way we see our bodies? As something that tells God's story? If not, why not? I'll tell you why not. Because there's an enemy who hates that our bodies tell the story. And he's been trying to twist it all up from the beginning. I want you to imagine that this is a painting of man and woman naked without shame, just as we were made in the beginning. The enemy hates this painting. Have you noticed there is a horrifically violent attack in the modern world against this painting? And here's what he wants to do with it. And this is exactly what happened to the painting with original sin. The temptation is to throw it away because it looks like trash. Don't go there. That's the enemy's trap. Remember, we're not hoping for redemption from sexuality. That would be redemption from sexuality. What we are crying out for, what we yearn for, is the redemption of our sexuality. We're yearning for the uncrumpling of the painting. We're yearning to be raised up into the divine life. And the church has a word for this. It's called divinization. So often the church is accused of demonizing the body and sexuality. No. Demons demonize the body and sexuality, and then they blame it on the church. The church divinizes the body and sexuality, and by that I mean raises the body up into the divine life. It's called the ascension and the assumption. Already there's a male and a female body that have been divinized. But here we're all fallen. We're all wounded. We're all broken. All of us have this crumpled up reality in our lives. Each and every one of us do. Who has been unscathed by the incessant lies of a media culture that will prize and idolize bodies idealized and hyper-eroticized, but criticize and despise any shape and size? It cannot commoditize. We need new eyes if we are to realize that the true value and dignity of the body lies not in being objectivized, standardized, and commercialized, but being personalized, baptized, and even divinized. And this is what John Paul II's theology of the body supplies. If we go on pilgrimage with what he teaches us, this is what will happen in our lives. And we will have new eyes. But I think deep in our hearts, there's a question. Can he really love me here? Can he really love me in this twisted, crumpled up reality? I've been exposed to so many lies in my life. I've done so many things that were contrary to God's plan in my life. Can he really love me when I'm falling? Can he really love me in my brokenness? These emotions I feel. Yes, God gave us these passions and emotions. And if we learn how to sacrifice ourselves in love, they can make us divine. But these emotions, they can also drive us crazy. They can lead us to do things that we're incredibly ashamed of. And we get all twisted up until we realize there's nothing here that can save me unless you, Lord, say the word. Say the word, Lord, and I'm yours. And my life gets uncrumpled. As Mike sings this song, I just invite you to place your own life just as it is, crumpled up as it is, put it right on the altar. Give it to Jesus. And you know what he's going to give you? He's going to give you love, 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 love. Crazy love. Love, 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 love. Crazy love. And guess what? The Blessed Mother, she'll give you love, 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 love. Crazy love. Crazy love. Lover, say the words, I'm yours. Can you love me falling so?
All right, folks, so this was my experience in 2 Catholic events featuring Christopher West and Father Mike Schmitz. Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed this, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, whatever it is. Have a blessed day, y'all.